What's going on, guys? It's Mr. Certified High here. We are back with a speed build video. We're renovating an apartment, I guess. We're 701 Zenview, the apartments. And really, when I did this on stream, and when I did it on stream, it was supposed to be more of my dream apartment. But I just find any dream builds kind of, I don't know. I feel like my dream house or dream apartment always changes, and it changes with the situation I'm in. Like right now, my dream apartment might be very different from when, my dream house with kids, and there is those different types of places. Like, maybe this is my dream house that I want to have multiple bedrooms with kids in, or this is the house that I want to, kind of live in alone before I'm married, or even living with a girlfriend or anything. And so it definitely fluctuates, but this is definitely an apartment I could see myself living in and would kill to live in. I do love it. I think it came out really nice, to be honest with you. I wanted it to be a 2-bedroom with like I wanted it technically 3-bedroom, I guess is what you'd say, with just one of the bedrooms being converted to a YouTube studio, like sort of having the YouTube the video thing, and like you record videos and upload them to Sims 2 or whatever they call it. I wanted to have that in there. So what I did was I just made it a 2-bedroom and then used one of the rooms and put that in there and kind of converted that into like a home studio. Because definitely in any, right now at least, again, kind of fluctuates, but right now in any of my dream places, I think would definitely have something like that where I can be creative and kind of go on, do what I'm doing. I've really been enjoying what I've been recording so far and learning all of it. I definitely kind of fell in love with the process of uploading and recording these videos, and trying to make them better every time. So definitely, getting really into it, which I think is good for everyone. But yeah, so right here, we're just kind of playing with the walls. It's really tough to match walls. And I was like, oh, wait, can I put windows down? No, I was like, oh, can't put extra windows down. That's kind of what stinks about the apartments is obviously you need it to look like the rest of the building that the apartment is built around, but it just kind of stinks you can't put like extra videos or extra extra windows or change up things like that. Maybe make the apartments more your own, or even like create your own apartments, I guess would also be a cool little feature. Maybe if you can just create an actual build lot and build up an apartment building that then you could section off, kind of like how it's played here. Obviously those are super advanced features I don't think we'll ever see in the Sims, at least not this Sims game, but definitely be really cool. So as you can see, I'm just going kind of matching the doors, because again, with apartments, I feel like they have to be realistic to the outside, which I know I just kind of made a whole thing about that, but I do feel like obviously it makes sense, right? If you're gonna have this apartment, all these rules and regulations around what windows and doors, well, you kind of should match it in everything. And so I wanted this to be more of a realistic apartment, something that you maybe just paint one wall and can convert. You can convert certain rooms that maybe weren't intended to be as they were intended, but it's still generally, if you just paint everything back to normal, it would actually be a very realistic apartment. So that's what I was going for here. And so I basically, as you can see, I have 1 bedroom upstairs, a bathroom upstairs, and then kind of that little landing area. And then I would say that's a 2nd bedroom is downstairs, but I turned that into a YouTube studio, like I said. So I put a green screen wall in there and actually change up the green screen. But when we get to that, it'll be really cool. So yeah, I can see the bedroom upstairs is pretty big actually. And I really wanted to make it an ensuite. I probably could have maybe made a small ensuite, but I decided instead of just kind of going with that, we'll just go with having the bathroom separately. And as you can see it there, I really wanted a feature wall. I kind of want something cool, because again, this is something I built this with the intention of this is what I would want to live in. So not really building it with any style or theme in mind, which I guess I generally don't build like that anyways, but building with something like, yeah, right now I would love to live like that. And so I go with this brick wall. I really like brick in most apartments. I think kind of brings me back to Friends a little bit, maybe. And you can see the green screen right there. But I think it brings me back to Friends and how they have like bricks in classic New York apartments. So what you think of, at least what I think of. Obviously don't live in New York. I live in Seattle, completely opposite side of the country. But that's what I imagine. And obviously my apartment does not have that. Just your basic walls, which I mean, pretty much all my apartments in all the states I've lived in, which have been a lot for how young I am, have had similar walls to this. But this is, yeah, I was just saying, the YouTube studio right there. What happened, I don't remember why. Oh, I moved in my self sim. I forgot I kept this in there to change up some of the stuff and just make sure that I could upgrade it because I knew those studio lights would be on the game, and I was concerned that they might be clipping in. I don't mind some clippage. I don't like clipping into windows though, or into like if it's heavy clipping in a wall and it's very noticeable. I don't like that. So I wanted to make sure that this didn't do that, because really it's a pretty small room downstairs. Like you wouldn't fit a double bed in there if it's a bedroom. It really would be a single bed, probably like a kid's bedroom. You could also have it as. But I thought it was, or even just a study. I thought it could be a good study too. I wanted to make it kind of both, but then again, we kind of go with a little different, switching things up of what my original intentions for that room were. And really this whole downstairs kind of switches up from the idea of it. So I wanted it to be the kitchen, living room, and then I decided, you know what, I wouldn't use a table. I don't have a table now. I've lived in multiple apartments, like I've said, since college. You know, and just it's been 5 years since I graduated high school. So, and I've lived in multiple different apartments, and I've never had a table. Of course, I'm young, so obviously that makes sense. You know, I feel like there's a lot of furniture items that, especially as a guy, you just don't care about. But I just, you know, I'd never had a table. I've had an outside table before. I've had an inside table. But here we are, you know, going back to the studio. This will change up a lot too. But like I was saying, I thought maybe I could live without a table, because really I don't miss a table. I don't really need it. You know, I eat on the couch. I'm not like, you know, I get my family was never like we're eating at the table family. Like we ate at the couch, like watching TV together all the time. And I mean, obviously when we were like grandparents and whatnot, we would eat at the table, but it really wasn't, you know, the big plate. We didn't eat every meal there. It wasn't, you know, we oftentimes just ate in our rooms too. So I don't know, maybe it's just the ways I was raised that I kind of viewed that as that way. So with this wall, I wanted it to be, because this is kind of what I want to do behind my own setup, but I want to switch things around. I'll probably have to actually wait until I get a new apartment. My lease is up in 5 months, and I do plan on moving out. But I kind of want to have a setup like back here where it is just more a personal item. So obviously The Sims, and then I have a political science degree, in case you don't know. I have a political science degree, and that's obviously where the activism, or the activist poster kind of on the left there, or the activist sign on the left there comes from. And then I was a lifeguard in high school, and I think that I really enjoyed that time. So that's why the lifeguarding buoy. I'd actually really like to get that. I want to look into it again once I get like a new place and kind of have a good setup for where I want to stream and record at. I want to get a lifeguard buoy. I don't know, it's not what I would call it, but I don't know. A buoy, I'd say something in the water. Maybe it is a buoy. I don't remember. But a lifeguard, you know, we'll call it a buoy. You know what I mean. The lifeguarding thing that you throw out in the water. Or you nearly don't throw it out in the water. But in movies, you always see it throw it out in the water. But so here I am. Again, like I said, I was trying to make this be kind of dual setup. Have a little bit of both in there. Both the gaming and the video production activity. Table, I don't remember what it's called. I think it's just video edit production something, or media production, actually, probably what it's called. The thing I don't like with Sims is how they split those up, you know, from the computer. Like you can't upload to, you know, from the video production to then the Sims. Like it's a whole different thing. Like I wish you could just have like they wish that would have just gave us a computer with a webcam or something, and then some extra lights that we could put around the desk, and said here, but now on the computer you can upload to like, you know, SimsTube, and you can game, you can stream, you can do all these things. So I'd like to, again, I don't think that'll be added on in this Sims version, because it's already the thing when there's already like features like that in the game, they just won't add, like they won't edit things that big, you know. So I don't think we'll ever see a feature like upload to SimsTube on the computer in The Sims 4. But up here, I was kind of upset I couldn't get this to be a 2-bedroom. I don't rarely have guests spend the night or stay over. I've never really had that. And honestly, like, I don't really care. Like, I always, if they're my age, I don't care if you're a friend or whoever you are, I usually offer up my bed. And then if it's like a parent or something, I would first off, hopefully they get a hotel room. But if it's a parent or grandparent, I'd offer up my bed and I'd sleep on the couch. I think that's how it'd go. But if it was like a friend, I'd say, like, you can sleep in bed with me or you can sleep on the couch. Like, those are your options. I don't care either way. So, but I really wanted a second bedroom, so that's why I put the little Murphy bed upstairs. And then here we're just kind of going with the front, little front area. And I imagined having a pet. I really want to get a cat. Me and my girlfriend are constantly sending pictures of cats back to each other that we're trying to find. I want to adopt. I don't really want to go to a breeder. So I've tried them all, but obviously with everything that's happening right now, coronavirus and everything, it's so hard to get, to be able to see them and kind of click. And I don't want to just adopt them over like the internet and then go pick them up and then find out maybe the cat and I aren't going to click. We don't click very well. Maybe the cat doesn't really like me. Maybe the cat's not even a people person in general. And it's hard to tell that over a picture. So we're definitely trying to figure out with those things, and I think it's a great time to get a cat or any pet really if you're looking. I know a lot of shelters before the shelter in place was issued where I live, they were saying, but when it was almost imminent, like you knew it was coming, but it hadn't happened yet. They were saying, what better way than to shelter with a cat? And I was like, totally. But it just never happened. You could foster them. That was the whole deal. You could foster a cat. You wouldn't even have to adopt it, just foster it. But I felt like I've always wanted a cat for a while now. So I felt like if I'm going to go cat, I'd rather just adopt it instead of fostering it, or foster to adopt it maybe. But here working on the bathroom, I don't know if I necessarily, I like the bathroom. I really do. Is it like this is where it becomes like a whole issue of where I was having with calling it a dream anything, which I will title the video Dream Apartment, just because it's just easier to describe, I guess. But is it my dream bathroom? Probably not. I don't. And then for me, I think when you think dream, I think like huge, I don't know. My dream's always been like a mansion, although they're super, energy sucking. I was going to say sufficient. That's the exact opposite word of what they are. They're not good for the environment. The bigger obviously your footprint is, the worse it is for the environment. I want to be environmentally conscious and do all those good things to help the environment. But obviously if you're dealing with a dream in a dream world in a game, I would go the bigger the better. And then I didn't even know these windows existed that skyrocketed it up that high, but that was really cool that I found out. But yeah, I was just kind of also fixing up the bathroom a little bit like past apartments I've lived in, again, because I wanted that more realistic factor of it. And so I was thinking about like where my medicine cabinet is, and I've never had, that's not true. My first apartment, I had a medicine cabinet that was literally right in front of the sink with a mirror. So the mirror opened up. But since then, and the other two places I've lived, out since I moved out in high school, or since I moved out for college, the medicine cabinet has never been in front of the sink other than that one time. And they've always been behind the toilet. And in The Sims, I don't know why every time I think about like putting a medicine cabinet behind this toilet, I always think like, oh, you're gonna hit your head. But then it's like I forget that like literally in my apartment, the medicine cabinet's right behind the toilet and I've never hit my head. So that's what I did there. And then I'm just trying to figure out, I felt like it was too white, so I really want to start putting in some color. And that's what I'm doing here. I thought green would be good. And then I was like, well, those candles are red, so I don't know if it makes sense to put the green. But then the towels were green. So I was like, we'll put green here, but kind of match different things to different, so like the towels and the rug, the candles, and then this rug. So just different things kind of match it up. So it's kind of blends in a little bit better. And then I realized like, oh, I think the bathroom probably needs a light or some natural light in it. I think most bathrooms, I just looked at my shit, saw like, my bathroom doesn't. But I have a lot of bathrooms obviously have like a small window, so that's what I went there with there. And then this is what I imagine just being like the TV room. Obviously, like I said, the Murphy bed, but you would never pull it out, I guess, in the Sims. It's kind of weird, that we do all these things for the Sims. We like build guest bedrooms, build closets, which are nothing that you can really do in the Sims. Yeah, you can invite somebody over to stay the night in like the apartment, I guess, or you can do that. So maybe you can do that a little better. I just tend to not use that feature unless I'm like, hooking up with them. That's the only time I ever seem to invite somebody to stay the night, or at least as a kid. So then it's either way, it's not an apartment that would really fit that. And here I was trying to put like I said, the pet bowl, because I really want a pet, and so I envision a pet in my apartment. That does change. They do not fit on the staircase. So obviously, like I said, we moved the computer to the dining room or the kitchen / like main area, but then I just didn't like it sitting there, and I was like, well, I feel like it's just looks out of place having a computer there, and then on the other side of that wall there's a whole studio to like upload the videos for. And then I was like, well, is it just a kitchen now? Like, what do I put there kind of behind that wall? But we do change up, like I said, this area gets changed up quite a bit, honestly, to the point I did stream this last night, but it's kind of hard to remember exactly what we did with everything in this area. I know we put a teacup here, yep, and that's because I don't like coffee. I know, like, maybe definitely in the minority there, but it's just never been my thing, coffee. You know, I'm more of a tea guy. I like spiced apple cider, warm apple cider too, but coffee's never really been my cup of tea. But yeah, so, and then again, I really like these lights, and the thing about this apartment, or even doing this in any build, like any apartment build where you have the second floor and kind of an open space like this, is how do you decorate the walls? The walls look so blank, and honestly, like in real life, I don't know, maybe it's because I view it in the wrong lens. I think oftentimes in real life you don't really care or notice, but in The Sims, it's like so noticeable to me that you just have this entire wall blank, or this entire second floor wall that blank, even though it makes sense. What would you get, a step ladder, or you get a ladder to go all the way up there and hang a picture? Yeah, some people might, but I feel like most people would just say, honestly, if we put a thing down below, it's like at eye level, it's fine, you know. I feel like the super bougie, super rich might have like a poster up there or a painting up there, and I imagine it being like a painting of themselves for some reason, and like with ceilings this high and like those double-decker rooms. I don't know if that's what you describe them as, but now the thing that really annoys me about that, what I just did, not here now, but down in the kitchen, was those knives. They're not even with everything else, but I wanted the bars that hold each of those items up to be touching. So I kind of had to make a decision, either knives are even or that bars are even, and I felt like it looked better with the knives being uneven and the bar being even. And then here, like I said, I'm trying to bring out some more color, and this is where I'm kind of playing around with that upper area to decorate. And then I'm like, I think I end up just deciding, well, we'll put maybe, I think the wine poster or the wine painting is as high up as I go with any decoration. I just decided that we will leave that second floor alone. And then I'm just trying to really play around, because the only issue with this wood, I will say, is to match it. See, because I feel like that wine painting makes sense there. Like there's literally stairs going up there, so you could easily put that right there. But anyways, back to this flooring. You can match, but you can't match it to a lot of woods I found. Like, I mean, there's a lot of, you know, so if you have a wood flooring, I feel like to find that specific color of wood in any of the other like counters or tables, it's actually really difficult. But there I put the window in. I really like that window. It goes to a bedroom, but I don't know why I've never liked the window to the inside. If you can't put a railing and kind of have that balcony area, I think a window's a pretty good second bed. And it's kind of industrial. I kind of like that about it. But yeah, I think I really like having that window kind of come in there. Now, I thought at the time you'd be looking up at the window, so you probably wouldn't see anything going on, you know. But when I did screenshots and everything, I saw, oh, you can actually literally see like into the bed. Like, so if someone was, you know, getting down on the bed, they would be very visible to everyone in the living room. So you'd probably have to get a curtain there. But like I said, I didn't realize that really till I looked at the screenshot shots post editing all of it, like not the video, but post taking the screenshots out of the game. So I didn't want to go back in and put one curtain there. I do put curtains in this game, but I didn't put it on the window inside. I just felt like it wasn't necessary. And so yeah, I go in those tiny living, you know, end tables and dressers. I really like that coloring. And you see me kind of trying to play around with it. It doesn't necessarily match the wood 100% of the bed, but you know what? You got to do what you got to do, and I'll take the way we got it, because I do, like I said, I really enjoy the way we got it. I at least wish I could just move the windows within like, even if I can't put new windows on the apartment, I just wish I could move the windows around in the apartment. Sorry, my nose itches. But so we're putting the mirror there. I feel like any good bedroom needs a mirror. And we trying to think. We had one in the bathroom, but you know, it's kind of a small mirror. And I really like the picture. Like that poster or that painting is something I'd have, like I would love to have right here. Like it's super nice actually. I've never used that swatch. I bet it's pretty common, but I've never used it. And I was trying to play with this idea of doing this with lights. I've seen a lot of people do that with apartments, especially this one I think. But I don't know. I didn't really, it came to the reality of it, I didn't really like it because look, you can see the lights kind of went all the way into the house like tenfold. And I was like, it's just too much of a hassle. And honestly, it's realistic, but like the way the Sims does it, it's not realistic. Like when I had a balcony, back in college, we had lights out there, but now like, they were hanging. It's not like we had poles put up with lights. We just had little command hooks that like attached to the ceiling or the side of the rail or the side of those posts and hung the lights that way. So at this point, I'm realizing that the only table I have in this house or this apartment is that table upstairs, which is, again, very like me. Like I said, in past apartments I've lived in, I've only had outside dining table or outside tables, like outside furniture, outside chairs and tables. So it's very on brand for me to do that. But I decided if I'm going to upload this, probably want to upload it with actual table inside. So I do get, I think, even the same table and just put it downstairs. We'll have to check it out. It'll come here in a second. Here I'm playing around with this. I was going to use these curtains, but then I was like, because really they're the most realistic to me. I think those come with most apartments, like those style of curtains. I think behind me, as you can see, it's sort of like the style of curtains I had, not like these. These would definitely be like you'd bring your curtains, buy curtains. Which a lot of people do. I never did, again. But a lot of people do it, I know, obviously. I just always stuck with the main ones. I would get a blackout curtain. I had it at my old place. When I moved here, I didn't bring it because I didn't think I wanted it. I wanted it again, so I might have to get another one here soon. But blackout curtains are definitely really nice to keep one light out and help glares. For me, that's what I use it for, is to help glares at certain times if I wanted a game on TV. It helps, keep glares off the TV. So that's why I imagine actually those black curtains. That was the idea behind those in the studio, was those are blackout curtains. And then this was a tough one to find. Really what I want, and then I found that curtain. I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely the curtain I'm gonna go with. So here I put in that table. I'm actually thinking, do I? I don't know if I do match. Yeah, I don't know if I don't match. Let's try to leave it glass. And then I matched, yeah. So I'm actually really happy with this section of the house. It definitely, the kitchen, kind of dining room area, a lot of seating, definitely a lot of seating. But, I guess I do put some sort of like, I still feel like you could reach those. You wouldn't need to go too high to reach those. Like they would just hit the top of like a normal height wall. They don't go to the second ceiling of the second height or the second floor wall. They don't do that. So I feel like that's fine. And then obviously that's why they're staggered, kind of going up along with the stairs, because I felt like you could almost hang some of these just by walking up the stairs and reaching over. So that was my thought behind that. And then, once again, we're kind of messing around with the studio. Even now, I'm not sure I really like it that much, or still, it's tough. It was just a tough space because it was so small and this thing is so big. Like, why does it have to be so big? I mean, now that I've started doing YouTube and it makes sense. I do have 2 monitors and 2 big monitors. I have a key light right here, and so it definitely takes up a lot of room. But I feel like you don't need to have this huge thing like that's literally the size of the room. Like it could have just a desk, and then these added things could have made the same, done as all the same. And then here I'm trying to mess with it. I felt like it was fine if it clipped in the curtains, because that's just pretend that the curtains are going under it or whatever. You don't really have to worry about that. But here we kind of are just doing the last little things, kind of putting some clutter around the front entrance. That's not necessarily something I would ever do. I'd never really, wouldn't say I live like minimal, but I do live semi-minimal. I don't really have a lot of clutter items around. But that's it for the video, guys. Here we are coming up on the screenshots. And so hope you guys enjoyed the screenshots. I have another great build video coming out here soon, and the Sims house is coming out tomorrow. Or actually, Sims house came out already this week. This video is going to come after the Sims house. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch me on stream. I'm going to do my dream house build here soon. So again, enjoy the video, guys. Have a good one, and have a great day.